7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's 10:05. This is Kay Adams with you till 12 on BBC Radio Scotland. We were talking about the return of David Cameron as Foreign Secretary this morning, asking if it was a good move or a misstep. Each says, how many times do we have to wait and see what Westminster will do? It is too serious for us to derive only entertainment value from their activities. Not impressed. Someone else saying, I think Cameron's election is a smokescreen to deflect from the sacking of Suella Braverman. Next general election will make 1987 look like a good night. You can keep your texts coming in. Also coming up this morning, the Scottish influencers want to normalise two mums having a baby.
So this is our most common asked question.
What do the kids call us? I'm Mummy.
And I'm Mummy Cole.
Yes, and Cole and Abby will be joining us next. Oscar-nominated actor Adam Driver was less than impressed with an audience question at the screening of his new movie.
You, I don't know. Next question.
Yeah, not happy. How well do you handle criticism? We've got a new consumer advice surgery this morning with consumer expert Martin James. Whether you're having issues with a purchase, you're needing a refund, or a delivery just hasn't arrived, Martin will do his very best to help. Get in touch. You can call 08085 92 95.
Do the damn thing. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
Before I give you the first clue for Name the Place, our Tuesday quiz, our treasure hunt on the radio, let me just try and clear something up. One of our callers this morning was mentioning David Cameron in relation to the Panama Papers, which was a document leak from 2016 about tax havens. David Cameron said he and his wife Samantha owned shares in an offshore fund set up by his late father before selling them for £30,000 in 2010. David Cameron paid income tax on the dividends. He said there was a profit on it, but there was less than the capital gains tax allowance, so I didn't pay capital gains tax, but it was subject to all the UK taxes in all the normal ways. His father, Ian Cameron, who died in 2010, was one of the 5 UK directors of Blairmore Investment and flew to board meetings in the Bahamas or Switzerland. Mr Cameron has said much of the criticism was based on a fundamental misconception that Blairmore Investment was set up to avoid tax. It wasn't. It was set up after exchange controls went so that people who wanted to invest in dollar-denominated shares and companies could do so. There are thousands of other unit trusts set up this way, he said. So there you go. That is the position according to David Cameron. Now, name the place. We need to give you your first clue, don't we? Our treasure hunt on the radio, as I love to call it. When somebody manages to work it out, we will hear the clever klaxon. So I've got 6 clues in total. All have been devised by Professor Carol Huff, Professor of Onomastics at Glasgow University. And here is number 1. Today's place name contains the name of a king. Today's place name contains the name of a king. Now, I think in the last 2 weeks, we've had an early correct answer coming in the first track. Will it be a hat trick for those early guessers, or will Professor Carol Huff manage to stretch out a little bit further this morning? 80295 is the text number. The first clue for today's Name the Place quiz. The place name contains the name of a king.
Guess who's back?
Anything you want me to do, I'll do it. Anything you want me to do.
There are memories, beautiful, exciting memories of how you brought me out of certain circumstances. Right now it's crazy. I remember being here before, glad I trusted you like I'm trusting in you now. Joy when I think about what you've done for me. I get joy from that. I get joy from that. I get joy when I think about how you set me free. I get joy from that. I get joy from that. I said changed my life. All the praise to you for all the things you do. Good to me, can't forget all the things that you've done. Looking for the things that's to come. I lift my hands. If you give me half a second, I might dance. I might dance. Give me half a second, I might dance. Lifting up my hands, I might dance. Give me half a second. I get joy when I think about it. Oh yeah. For me. Oh yeah. I get joy from that. I get joy from that. I get joy. How you set me free. I get joy. I get joy. Oh. When I think about what you've done for me. Yeah. I get joy. How you set me free. Oh yeah. If you give me half a second, I might dance. I might dance. Give me half a second, I might dance. Lifting up my hands, I might dance. Give me half a second, I get joy. I get joy. For me, I get joy. Oh, I get joy from you. How you set me free. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Joy when I think about what you've done for me. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, when I think about how you set me free. Hey, yeah, yeah,
Talking about joy, people.
Anything you want me to do, I'll do
Good to me,
it.
can't forget all the things that you've done. Looking for the things that's to come.
Chef Boss, come on.
Anything you want me to do.
Let's go. Come on now. Everybody. Come on now. Everybody. Come on now. Everybody. Break down, break.
Was allowed there with Promise. We've got just one guess in for Name the Place. I like an early bird, so I do. I don't even know who sent it in, but Jamestown is the suggestion. It's wrong, but it gets the ball rolling, which is always good. Our first clue this morning, today's place name contains the name of a king. I guess that could be a load of different places, couldn't it? Stab it in the dark just a little bit. Pin the tail on the donkey with Professor Carol Huff. 80295 is the text number. Today's place name contains the name of a king. It is 10:13. Kay Adams with you till 12 on BBC Radio Scotland. Now, with 4 million social media followers, Cole and Abby Howitt from Dumfries are very open about sharing their lives with the world. Their son Hudson was born through IVF last January, and now they are trying for another addition to their family. Part of their motivation is to normalise two mums having a baby. And Cole and Abby are in the studio now to tell me more. Hello, the pair of you. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
Yes, thanks for making the effort. So I think I should hand over to you, Abby, because you've got some news for us, I think.
Yes, so we last had our third IVF transfer and I'm currently 6 weeks pregnant.
Congratulations.
So all is good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Early days, how are you feeling?
Yeah, early days. Hormones are hitting big style this time. Sickness has definitely hit a lot earlier than expected, but I'm good.
Yeah, not to give away secrets, but I have to say, Cole did give me an indication that the hormones were kicking.
They're really kicking in. That's an understatement.
Your eyebrows speak a language of their own. They really do. They really do. So listen, tell us a bit about yourself, because you've got, well, 4 million social media followers. I'm sure it's going up as we speak. But and so there's lots of people out there who know everything about you.
Oh, yes.
And there'll be lots of people who don't know anything about you. So for those people, tell us a bit about you.
We started social media during lockdown just as a bit of fun with the kids to pass some time. And yeah, our fun just started accumulating a lot of followers, and we supported so many people during lockdown who were at home on their own, just by sitting and have a coffee live. And that's where it all started, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That is where it began.
And so what's your family setup then? So you've got 3 kids.
We have got 3, yep. We've got Gianna, she's our eldest. She's 11, nearly 12. We've got our son Kai, he's nearly 10. And we've got Hudson from our previous IVF journey, and he'll be 2 in January.
And I say that, you know, the 2 eldest are from a previous relationship, Abby, and I'm only saying that to give people an idea. So for you two to decide to embark on an IVF, presumably that was a big decision. What kind of conversations did you have leading up to that?
Well, to be honest, it was from the start, from the minute we met each other, we knew we both wanted kids together. We knew we wanted everything together almost straight away. I don't know what it is.
First date. Yeah. It's not usually what you speak about on the first date, but we spoke about it.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
We knew we wanted kids together, and we did try and go through the NHS route to start with, but the waiting time was just getting longer and longer. During lockdown, so we're
not getting younger.
No,
none of us are. None of us are.
We worked hard and saved hard to be able to afford IVF, and that's where our journey began to make Hudson.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you know, your posts, it's not like you're a campaigning couple as
no.
such. I mean, you know, it's very kind of relaxed and friendly. You're open about your lives, and you're open to questions from people. But if there is a bigger kind of arc, you have said that you would like to normalise 2 mums having a baby.
Oh, absolutely. I think as well for even our older children to open it up and it be the norm as such that every family is so different, whatever that may be, whether it be you live with grandparents, foster parents, 2 dads, a mum or just a dad. And I think for so long it was just very much TV, everything is mum and dad, but in reality it's not actually like that. So I think for us to share our journey, and I think it definitely helps us having a social media presence to actually follow and see we are just like every other family. We've just got 2 mums.
We realised that we were changing so many minds from our inbox. Our inbox had helped thousands and thousands of people. That's not even an exaggeration. And even people were coming saying, honestly, I've been so against 2 women or 2 men having a child together. But since watching your journey, watching your love and how good you are as parents together, you've changed my full concept and everything. So what we're doing is making a difference.
Which is really interesting, because often we say about social media, don't we, that you know, people choose their tribe, they exist within an echo bubble, so you're preaching to the choir, you're not actually changing anyone's mind. But your experience is that you did have people who were sceptical about your situation.
100%. We've even had parents come forward to us who have gay children, lesbian children, who they've even opened up to us and said at first, I was against my daughter being in a female relationship, but actually having watched you have actually opened my eyes to see that love is love, and that's literally where it starts and finishes, and all them betweens. It doesn't matter if somebody's happy, and you've gained back my relationship with my child, and hearing that from a parent is so powerful. It just makes it all worthwhile.
I mean, people can ask some pretty straightforward, often offensive questions on social media. You know, obviously you're not open to be abused in any way, but I mean, are you happy to take some pretty direct questions that might immediately make you go, oh, well, I don't know about that?
To start with, obviously, I certainly didn't have thick skin. Abby's got the thickest skin I've ever known in comparison to me. But it took
her hormones.
Yeah. It took a good shift for me to realise that I can handle this criticism in a different way. To start with, it was very offensive. It came across as.
It became hurtful for you for quite a while when we first started social media, and it's really hard when you first start social media. It wasn't something that we had done before to separate real life, I guess, from what we call the Narnia of social media, and taking yourself out of that and realising that life's still the same regardless to what Tracy and Cumnock thinks about you. And it's hard, but we've done so well in growing, not just individually, but as a couple, and being able to help each other, because I am much thicker skinned and Cole hasn't been. I've been able to kind of help her. And
yeah.
I've got to be the backbone now, though, because she's struggling with her hormones.
Those hormones. Yeah. So what did you find so difficult, Cole? Because, I mean, as you say, this has happened very rapidly. Before, what, the pair of you had a barber shop?
Yeah, we own a barber shop. So.
Yeah. So that's your trade, if you like, and then this whole world has kind of emerged. So what did you struggle with it initially?
I felt like I lived in social media land, and I absorbed everything that everybody said, even the rumours or fake allegations. I wanted to prove myself, and that's what I found hard, because everybody will say ignore it, but you want to prove your truth, and that's the hardest part. They're like, ignore it, you're just giving them time, but they're lying. Do you know what I mean? So whereas Abs, she was completely the opposite to me. She's like, yeah, if that's what you want to say, go ahead.
Yeah.
So we were like, jeez.
And what about in real life then? I mean, you know, in your community, in your family, etc. I mean, how have they responded to the pair of you and your social media journey?
We've had a massive mixed bag, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've had the most amazing support from family, friends and our community. But with that also comes, you get backlash of social media, especially coming, I think, from a small town at times. It's not well known, and it's not a everyday job that other people do. And even the word job, a lot of people don't like that we actually share our life and we make a living from it, but we enjoy it, and we enjoy the strength we give other people from doing what we do.
Yeah, it didn't start as a job, so like we didn't expect it as much as no one else expected it. I think our family, again, they seen us just having fun on this platform, so they've started with seeing us having fun, and then they realise, oh my God, look how well you're doing. Like they believe in us now, and that shift, I think, has shifted our confidence in it as well.
Oh yeah, there was a massive shift going through it, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And what about you, the older kids? How are they with it?
Oh, they absolutely love it. If you ask Gianna, she'll tell anybody that'll listen that it was her that got us on social media, because it was her that asked us to do a TikTok with her, which is true.
Yeah.
And for so long, I refused, weirdly. And it was actually Cole that was all for it. And I was like, nope, you're not videoing me, not a chance. But actually, I think that's just us as people. Cole's a lot more confident on a camera compared to what I am. But in real life, I'm much more confident speaking to people, whereas Cole's really shy.
That's been the hardest shift for us. We get stopped everywhere we go, and I'm actually painfully shy. So in person, I'm like, hi, and everybody's like, where's this big character gone? But I'm fine behind a camera because nobody's there.
Yeah,
it's me
just
I'm
us.
looking at.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Well, obviously a good team. But, you know, with Gianna, you say, what age is she now?
She'll be nearly 12.
So, I mean, a lot of families who go on social media and they share a lot on social media do get to a stage with their kids as they get into teenagehood, etc. That, okay, how do we manage it now?
Oh, yeah.
Have you kind of thought through that bit?
Oh, it's something we speak about all the time. Like, we, from the get-go of realising kind of we were getting bigger and bigger on social media, our kids are at the absolute foremost of everything we do. And like, one of our biggest things is, regardless to how much we film, what we do, it doesn't affect our kids.
Yep.
And if it ever did, we wouldn't do it anymore. That's just how we feel about it.
We've never been controversial. We've never done things that could embarrass them. Like, there's trends out there that, yeah, we'd probably join in on, but we're respectful that we've got kids that have got to go to school, but they get a good response from other people because of all the good that we do. So I think that if the kids were to say anything to us, they'd say they were proud of everything that we do for
We're
charity.
very mindful. We're very mindful of the kids and the kind of ages they're at, and that's only going to get harder as they get older.
Yeah.
And they've got their own voice kind of thing, but we're very mindful, as in we have conversations with them all the time of how do you feel about it. Obviously, some days are harder than others. If we go for a day out with the kids and stuff and people are stopping us all the time, it can get draining, and we are very mindful of that when it comes to the kids.
Yeah. Well, it's a remarkable story, but I mean, at the heart of it is your story of your family, which is absolutely lovely. And, you know, I know the IVF journey hasn't been that easy for you, Abby, and you had endometriosis.
I've got endometriosis and polycystic ovaries, so even being able to share that part and give so many women hope that they can go on and have children. I myself was told when I was 18 I wouldn't. So to be able to be here and pregnant with my fourth is just incredible, regardless of the sickness and hormones. Like, it is amazing.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you very much for making the trip in here. It's been great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so Cole and Abby.
Thank you.
Somebody's birthday, but who can it be? Is it Chris or is it Dave or Rachel, Al or Carrie? Actually it's Dominic, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday Dominic, who's 40 years old today. The Chris Moyle Show.
Radio Scotland Extra.
Oh, the guesses are coming in thick and fast for Name the Place. Stuart and Kilmarnock's going for Rob Royston. You know that I'm going to say strike these off your list. They're wrong, but anyway, I like a guess. Charlestown of Aberlour, that's from Blanche and Peterhead. Charleston, lovely place that, I like that. Paul and Airdrie's going for the same. Charleston. Kilmacombe says Graham. Charleston is again coming up. OK, let me say it. It's not Charleston, people. That is not the answer to today's Name the Place quiz. Duncanrig, that's from Anne in Newlands. No, Anne, it's not, I'm afraid. I'm going to give you another clue, don't worry. Stuart Field says John. And hi, it's John Welsh, the lorry driver from Stirling. Hi, John. Is it Malcolmburn? No, it's not John. And I'm ignoring all the Charlestons that are coming in. It is not Charleston. So you have to keep guessing. Let me give you the second clue, actually. It shares a meaning with Alloway in South Ayrshire. So clue number 1, today's place name contains the name of a king. Clue number 2, it shares a meaning with Alloway in South Ayrshire, which whoosh takes you off in another direction. 80295. Still to come, actor Adam Driver didn't take too kindly to this question.
What do you think about clash scenes? That they look pretty harsh and, I must say, cheesy for me. What do you think about them?
You, I don't know. Next question.
Well, that was a devoted fan who asked Adam if he thought some of the scenes in his new movie were cheesy. Adam wasn't too chuffed, so we had to do the bleep thing. So we'll be talking about how you handle criticism, which is interesting, just speaking about that with Cole and Abby. We'll also hear about how a monthly visit to a loved one could prolong their life. So all to come this morning. But here's a bit of Jackie Wilson.
The closer you get, the better you look, baby. The better you look, the more I want you. When you turn on your smile, I feel my heart go wild. I'm like a child with a brand new toy, and I get the sweetest feeling, honey, the sweetest, baby, the sweetest, loving you, yeah. The warmer your kiss, the deeper you touch me, baby. The deeper your touch, the more you thrill me. It's more than I can stand. Girl, when you hold my hand, I feel so grand that I could cry. And I get the The greater your love, the stronger you hold me, baby. The stronger you hold, the more I need you. With every passing day, I love you more in every way. I'm in love to stay, and I wanna say I get love, baby, the sweetest, honey, the sweetest, loving you.
Got something to say? Text 80295. Standard message rates apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have searched the whole world over for the great entertainers, and they are finally here tonight. They are world renowned. They are critically acclaimed. It's
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
And Angela Clarkson's got in touch about my conversation there with Colin Abbey, saying, "Hi Kay, I don't do any social media, so I wasn't aware of the amazing women on the show this morning. Just wanted to say many congratulations on their new pregnancy. Nothing better than a wee baby." Absolutely. Cheers, says Angela. Yep, I'm sure everyone will agree with that one. And oh my goodness, you're going gangbusters on the old Name the Place. It's funny how sometimes it's just like, oh, I'm so frustrated, I need to get it right. Today's place name contains the name of a king is clue number 1. It shares a meaning with Alloway in South Ayrshire is clue number 2 that I just fired out there before that track. Bonnyrigg, that's from Ian and Wick. He said that's the answer. No, it's not, Ian. I do apologise. Eswatini. That's from Nicola in London. You're winding me up here, Nicola. Or maybe you're not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Is it Karen, says Rod in Aberdeen, after Elvis's middle name? My first time guessing. Well, Rod, no, you haven't got it right this time, but I'm glad you're getting involved. Stay with us. We've got lots more clues coming. We don't have a correct answer yet this morning, so keep on going. And just this one from Adrian. I mean, his guess is Alexandria, which is wrong, but Adrian says he's warming his slippers in Edinburgh. And that's just a lovely wee thought, isn't it? Well, you keep on warming your slippers there, Adrian, and I will keep coming with the clues, and hopefully we'll get a correct answer before 12 o'clock when Professor Carol Huff will pop up and do the big reel. Now, we've got a consumer advice surgery this morning. We thought that would be a good idea at this time of year in particular, when we're heading into the Christmas season, and you might be making more purchases than usual. You might be getting more deliveries than usual, and of course the weather is going to get colder, so in terms of heating, you may be worried about energy supplies and things like that as well. So consumer rights expert Martin James is joining us to answer any question that you might have on any of those things, or indeed a host more. Be taking calls from 11 o'clock, 08 085 92 95 00, but you can always text as well, 80295. Morning, Martin.
Good morning, Kay. Thanks for having me back on.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. Thanks for joining us. Now, I just gave some ideas there of the kind of things that people might be wanting to talk about. But what other things do you get in your post bag?
Do you know, you mentioned energy just then, and actually that's the one question that everyone has. It's such a concern for people. It's obviously it's really freezing at the moment, but I know loads of people who are still like really nervous about putting on the heating. So energy is one of the biggest concerns. And of course, you know, spending and getting through Christmas, because of course we all deserve to have a good time. We all want to kind of cheer ourselves up a little bit. But actually making the money go further is a real concern. Now, I know a lot of this stuff is a little bit depressing. I'm going to keep it as light as I can do. But I will answer all of you. I'm slightly focused on Adrian's warm slippers, actually. I have to kind of like steer myself away. Thinking, ooh, I might pop my slippers on the radiator shortly. But yeah, I really do understand at the moment that a lot of the listeners out there are really struggling. So if there's something that's worrying you, I'm sure that we can find some form of solution one way or another. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. Well, funny, on Adrian's warming slippers, I bought myself one of those heated blanket thing. So you sit and watch the telly with your heated blanket, because I was persuaded that this was quite a good way of saving money, because I wouldn't have to have the heating up so high. Is that true or not? Or should I put it back in the box and return it?
Do you know, it all depends on how long you use these things for, and indeed, you know, kind of what particular charges they're using as well. I mean, I've got one of those kind of hot water bottle things, but it's kind of like grains of rice that you put in the microwave that my mother got for me, which I absolutely love. But ultimately, you know, a lot of these things, kind of the savings that you're going to make come down to like the pence in the big scheme of things. One of the things that really worried me last year was people were saying to me that they were too scared to put the cooker on and things along those lines. And actually, you know, if you want to cut back on your energy use, it's the wet machines. It's the things like your washing machine, a dishwasher, things along those lines. They're the ones that use up about a quarter of your energy bill.
Really?
But they certainly do, yeah. Plugging things in isn't going to kind of be a massive, massive drain. But if you've got a smart meter, then you can kind of work out what your biggest drains are on your energy in the house. The other thing that you can do as well is you can get one of those cheaper kind of monitors that also kind of clips onto your just where your boiler is, and that will also give you kind of an idea of the things that are using a load of energy. It was my fish tank that was using all of mine.
Fish
Never what you
tank?
think it's going to be. Yeah, I've got a bubbler thing in it and a heater. And that was actually eating into my energy bill more than I realised. So it's often the things that you don't think that are busy kind of sapping your energy in the background. I think you can pop your blanket on, Kay, you'll be all right.
Thank you. But what did you do about your poor fish, Martin?
Well, they've just learned to cope with certain parts going on and off.
Oh, right,
It's on a
okay,
timer.
so, yeah. And I suppose the other thing to talk about, maybe we can talk this through at 11, is if you do identify, whether through a smart meter or some other means, you know, what are the devices that are really eating your energy, then what do you do about it? I mean, are there substitutes, or are there ways to sort of manage that usage in such a way that, you know, you can be a bit more efficient? Because I'm sure there's lots of ways. You see it, you think, oh my goodness, that's going, you know, round like crazy. But then what do you do about it? Because some of these things are essential.
Well, absolutely. And there are some things that are just essential, as you say. You know, you can't stop using them. And I'd rather teach people how to tackle energy companies and their terrible behaviour head on, because there is support out there. But I'm hearing a very mixed bag from people who've told me that when they've called up, they're not getting what they need to get. So I've got loads of tips on how you can take on your energy company and how you can take things further if you think your bill's wrong as well.
Great. OK, well, we can certainly get into that. And also deliveries. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who will be looking for some advice on how they can take on delivery companies. And again, you know, going back into this time of year when, you know, we probably are going to be ordering more stuff online. Martin, thank you so much. That's given us a little bit of a taster of some of the things that Martin James can help you with. He's a consumer rights expert, but whatever it is, he's very knowledgeable about all of this field, so please do take the opportunity to pick up the phone and give him a call, 08085 92 95 00, or you can text 80295.
Sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh. Ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah. Been another blue day without you, girl. Been another sad summer song. I've been thinking about you, girl, all night long. Been another sad tear on my pillow. Been another memory to tell me you're the one, girl. I've been thinking about you, girl, all night long. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sad, sweet dreamer, it's just one of those things you put down to experience.
another story from those endless magazines. Can't help thinking about you, girl, all night long.
Sassy diva, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sassy diva, it's just one of those things you put down to experience.
Was so happy when I found you, but how was I to know that you would leave me walking down that road? Been another hurt love story. Been another man who thought that he was oh so strong. I've been thinking about you, girl, all night long.
Sassy diva, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sassy diva, it's just one of those things you put down to experience. Sassy diva, it's just one of those things you put down to experience.
I'm not out of clues. I have got another 4 clues to give you for Name the Place. We've got loads of guesses coming in. Really, really busy this morning on the first 2 clues you've had. Today's place name contains the name of a king and it shares a meaning with Alloway in South Ayrshire, Haroldswick in Unst. That's from Michelle, who's in the Shetland Isles there. Fort Williams, another guess. Now, somebody else is suggesting Charleston of Aberlour. That's from Anne in Aberdeenshire. I'm sorry, Anne, but you know that is such a popular guess, but it is wrong. Strike that one off your list, good and hard. Jamie in Dunblane is suggesting Athol Stainsford. Kate thinks maybe it's Edinburgh. It's not Arthur's Seat. That's from Michelle again. She's going for another one. Davy in Bankery also going for Athol Stainsford. Fort William, that's Adrian again. Warm in his slippers there. Grandtown, Alexandria, and Cockenzie. That's from Mike in Port Glasgow. Now, Mike in Port Glasgow is often somebody who gets the correct answer really quickly, but even Mike in Port Glasgow struggling today. That's what I'm saying. Dunnigan, that's from Quigley. So let me give you clue number 3. It has an older twin whose name means settlement by the fort. It has an older twin whose name means settlement by the fort. I don't know, I just think that is the kind of clue that somebody is going to go, I know. Do you know? If you do know, text us on 80295. Now, who would have thought that your risk of dying prematurely could be affected by how often that you see your loved ones? But according to researchers at the University of Glasgow, there is indeed a link. We've got Hamish Foster, who is the clinical academic at the University of Glasgow, author of this study. Good morning to you, Hamish.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you perfectly, Hamish. Yeah, you all right with us?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. So can you tell us what the study was looking at and these conclusions, which seem quite kind of dramatic when read like that?
So we looked at 5 different measures of social connection. So 2 more subjective or qualitative ones, such as if you often feel lonely, and then 3 more objective ones, such as whether or not you live alone or whether or not you see friends and family often. And we did that using a big data set from adults across the UK, around 500,000 adults. And we could see what they said about their social connections, and we could see, unfortunately, which study participants died and what they died from. And we found a number of interesting things. One was that each of these measures was linked to an earlier death. So if you were lonely or if you had an objective type of isolation, each of them were important for dying. But more importantly, we found that certain combinations put you at even higher risk. So, for example, living alone and not engaging in weekly group activities or living alone and not seeing friends and family often, that put you at even higher risk. So it was interesting to look at these different combinations. And then one specific detail, which was quite important, that came out was we looked at the frequency of friends and family visits. So how often did people see friends and family? And we found that people who saw friends and family at least monthly were associated with lower risk. So if you didn't see friends and family as often as that, you were at higher risk. But if you saw friends and family more often than that, it didn't seem to change the risk of dying. So it seems like monthly was a kind of sufficient amount.
Right.
But never seeing friends and family had a 39% increased risk of dying from any cause. Right.
And so was this a particular age demographic?
Yeah, so this study was from the UK Biobank data set. So this is a study of adults in 2006 to 2010 who were aged between 37 and